Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Game Master Karakin, and this is the Tiberium Armory. Today we are going to be talking about Wolverine anti-personnel powered armor. The Wolverine family of anti-personnel vehicles was developed after the First Tiberium War and saw action as early as 2023, during the interim period between the First and Second Tiberium Wars. Standing at around double the height of a man, Wolverine was designed to replace the aging Humvee as an anti-personnel vehicle, a task at which it excelled. The Wolverine was armed with two heavy caliber gatling guns, at least 50 caliber in size, that it could use to combat land and air targets, though it was far more adept at defeating men than helicopters and planes. The two walker legs that it used replaced the Humvee's wheels, allowing the Wolverine to traverse terrain that wheeled vehicles or tracked vehicles would have struggled with, or have been unable to cross entirely. The Wolverine was very fast for its size, able to keep pace with Titan walkers, the amphibious armored personnel carriers, or the hover MLRS at full speed. It was fully capable of jumping and balancing on one leg. This incredibly advanced technology helped it survive on the battlefield against anti-vehicle infantry, the attack buggy, the attack cycle, and was lucky to have it, because the Wolverine unfortunately sported poor armor, as while it is essentially immune to small arms fire, it would very quickly be shredded by successive missile hits or ordnance from a tick tank. The primary advantage that the Wolverine gave commanders on the battlefield was not achieved when they were alone, however. They were best used as part of a mixed force when paired with the Titan Mk1 and infantry. When deployed that way, Wolverines could expect protection from other units and thus wreak havoc on the non-forces in relative safety. Version Mk2 is a larger, bulkier construction featuring thicker armor and larger guns. It was deployed by the Steel Talons in the Interregnum Period between the Second and Third Tiberium War. Designed to fight along the Titan Mk2 Walker, experimental powered armor lost none of its potency or agility while gaining critical boosts to its survivability. In addition, there were larger stocks of ammunition hidden in the armor plates, and an anti-personnel and ammunition upgrade that added armor-piercing abilities to the vehicle, giving it an even better crowd control weapon. This version of the Wolverine fared much better against armor and AT soldiers, with its sloped armor built to help deflect incoming rounds. In addition, the speed and agility was boosted, giving the Walker the ability to match pace with a CC-6 Pitbull Recon vehicle, a significant upgrade indeed. Both Wolverine types were upgraded with guidance and targeting systems built to integrate with the EVA system, allowing it to acquire targets along its sight line, firing at targets up to a kilometer away. Powerful anti-infantry vehicles in their own right, they were phased out of service before the Third Tiberium War in favor of the Pitbull, due to maintenance and complexity issues that plagued the designs. Or so at least that was the stated reason. More likely was that these units were part of a penny-pinching purge by the now world government-sized GDI in the aftermath of the Firestorm conflict, as the bureaucrats foolishly believed Kane to be dead. This belief cost millions of lives in the Third War, as the scale down in technology left GDI vulnerable, compared to the unstoppable Titan it was during the final days of the Second War. Wolverine is largely considered by many to be the father of Walker technology in the Tiberium universe, as it is preceded by all other patterns, but before the Wolverine, there was the X-Zero power suit. Standing at 10 feet tall, around a third larger than a man of 6 feet, the power suit was a covert operations vehicle designed to take on all targets and rocket out of sight before anyone was the wiser. The X-Zero had two articulated arms and was shaped like an egg, cradling the operator inside the vehicle. It was armed with a high-powered 20 megawatt laser, an 8mm minigun, and a 35mm rocket launcher. It was fast-moving despite its 1-ton weight. When the trouble got too thick, it relied on its jetpacks to take short leaps in and out of action, causing chaos as it appeared from seemingly nowhere. The X-Zero was a secret weapon deployed during the First Tiberium War, but remained mostly as a prototype, as the GDI rapidly moved on to heavier designs for more conventional combat. It was also the only GDI unit to utilize high-powered lasers on the battlefield. At the end here, I want to give a little background information for clarification's sake. The weapons of the Wolverine are described as, quote, capable of tearing through even the most thickly armored infantry to ribbons, unquote. Modern infantry use body armors made of steel plates and ceramic tiles made from boron carbide, a system that can resist and defeat ammunition up to the size of 7.62mm NATO ammunition. Assuming body armor in the Tiberium universe is similar, this means that the Wolverine must be wielding at least 50 caliber weapons to easily defeat armor of that type, and more likely heavier. 20mm shells not dissimilar from the 30mm shells used in Apache helicopter miniguns. This would make it useful against lightly armored aircraft, though they never attack our aircraft in game. It would probably be about as effective against helos and other airborne threats as a tank would be at or below maximum gun elevation, as rounds of that size are effective against aircraft in general, at least from our time. Next, the Mk1's armor is relatively thin, but was likely protected by tank-grade missile-defeating armor packages, such as explosive armor or active denial systems, so it would be likely to survive multiple missile hits, quote-unquote. The Mk2's armor was much heavier, but unlikely to take more than 1 or 2 direct hits from a tank before being knocked out. To be able to keep pace with the Titan Walkers and the Pitbulls, the Walker likely had a speed around 20 miles an hour at least, possibly as much as 30. They also likely weighed around 2 to 3 tons, as they were larger than the XO power suit, while being able to hold more and heavier ammunition. And here we are at the end. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, press like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. This is Game Master Kirikin signing off. Hope you have a wonderful day.